Look up, biscuit here, are you there? Your friend, fellow biscuit. Now, are you ready? Start. Activity 2.4, 1b, They said if, they said prove that if g of x is even, then the composition f of g of x is also even, whether or not f is even or odd. So class, if g of x is even, class, so we need an even function to be g of x. A good example of an even function is x squared plus 6. X squared plus 6 is even, I've confirmed it. Now, f of x can be even or odd, it doesn't matter. So let's use an odd function since it doesn't matter. Let's use x raised to power 3. We are sure that x raised to power 3 is also an odd. So they're telling us that if g of x is even, surely even. Now, no matter what f of x is, whether even or, by the time we find the composition of f of g of x, it will still be what? Even. It will still be what? Then the composition f of g of x is also. So we want to prove that. So we need to first find f of g of x. Do not forget this even and this is odd. Class, we could as well have used an even function here as well, right? It's f of x, whether even or odd doesn't matter, but g of x must be even. So when we find f of g of x, what is f of g of, who is carrying who now, class? F is carrying g. So we'll take the whole of g and put it into f. So this space, x will vacate this space and g will come in. G will come, who is g? X squared plus 6 raised to power 3. What we need to find out now is this f of g of x even, as we have gotten here? Is it what? Because it said, prove that if g of x is even, yes, g of x is even, then the composition f of g of x is also even, whether or not f is even or odd. So f can be even or odd. So I chose f to be even. So to be odd, sorry, I chose f to be odd. But your g must be even. According to the condition, g must be, if g of x is even, if g of x is, so you see that's why my g of x is even. This is an even function. So you might not use my function, you might pick another even function you prefer, no problem. But your f of x can be even or odd, it doesn't matter. Now find f of g of x. We have just gotten it as x squared plus 6 raised to power. What we need to find out is that, is this our final answer even or odd? Now we'll say let f of g of x be equal to f of, okay, let's just do it this way. Let's do it this way. We'll now say to prove, to what? To prove if f of g of x is even. Is what? But that is the idea, to prove it's even. To prove that, you say recall that for a function to be even, f of g of x must be equal to f of g of minus x. I didn't mean this was f of x. F of x must be equal to f of minus x, right? And our f of g of x is already here, x squared plus 6 raised to power. Now our f of g of minus x will be, anywhere we see x, put minus, that's minus x or plus 6, everybody raised to power. We need to find out if this will yield this. Class, let's go and find out. Minus x all squared, so we're looking for f of g of minus x. Minus x all squared will give you positive x, or because minus x times minus x is plus all squared, x squared plus 6 raised to power what? And you can see clearly that f of g of minus x is the same thing as f of g of. So if that's the case, since you say since f of g of x is equal to f of g of minus x, therefore the function is what? Even. The function is what? And we have just proven that if one of the function is even and the other person is even or odd, By the time you find the composition of the two functions will give you what? An even function. So thank you very much. Watch out for the next solution.